Hey guys, welcome back. And now that we've shown you some chords, so we've shown you the A major chord, the D major chord, and the E major chord, let's talk a little bit about strumming and how we should strum the guitar. Now, this is probably the most sort of challenging part of guitar playing. Now, just remember that strumming is very percussive and very rhythmical, and it's really determined by the tempo of the song. So you almost got to think very sort of rhythmical and percussiveness. And when I think of rhythm and percussiveness, I think of the drums. So you almost can sort of use the beat or the rhythm or the pattern of the drums to help you with your strumming. Now, there's two ways to strum a guitar. There's the downstroke and the upstroke. And you can use a combination of these two strokes to create a rhythm or rhythm patterns. Now, once again, as you're holding the guitar, keep your elbow rested on the top of the guitar like I have here. And a lot of it is about moving your forearm. But also there's a lot of wrist movement. I tend to use my wrist a lot when I'm playing to create rhythm, to create tempo, and to create the percussiveness of the guitar. So I'll tend to use not only the forearm, but also my wrist to create rhythm. So really, at the end of the day, a downstroke is just really just going down from the top E string to the high E string. Okay, and keeping that sort of forearm moving and the wrist moving. So if we just do it quite simply, we're using the E chord, we're just going to strum down. Now it's important to try and keep your wrists loose, okay? What we can tend to find, especially with beginners, we'll tend to tense up on that wrist, and we're sort of doing all this big forearm sort of strokes. And what you tend to do is then they hit a lot harder on the strings. And you get this sort of really sort of hardness or harshness to the guitar. Just allow your forearm, allow your wrist to be loose. Okay, remember it's all about rhythm and creating rhythm with your strumming. So keep it loose, keep it sort of free, and relax your forearm, relax your sort of wrist, because if you're playing a song that goes for 3-4 minutes, your arm movement's going to be moving up and down a lot. Okay, so you need to be able to keep it loose, you need to be able to keep it free, otherwise it can tend to sort of tighten up, and it starts to hurt your forearm and your wrist. So let's just look at the downstroke once again. We're just keeping the forearm and the wrist smooth and just gently. So what I'm doing at the end of the strumming of the chord, I'm almost pulling the wrist away, getting ready for the next strum. So when you combine the downstroke with the upstroke, we can start to create a little bit more rhythm, which sounds a little bit more interesting. So normally when I do an upstroke, I don't normally go all the way up all strings. What I'll tend to do is just use the sort of the top 3 strings, the first, second, and third strings of the guitar. So I'm getting a more of a down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So my downstroke, I'm playing all the strings, all 6 strings, especially when I'm playing the E chord. So the E chord uses all 6 strings. If I was playing the D chord, I may not necessarily use all 6 strings, but for this demonstration I'm playing the E chord, which uses all 6 strings. So once again, down, all 6 strings, and up on the top high strings, the first, second, and third string. So we're going down, up. Then we get this sort of sound. Okay, that's really the simple down, up strumming. which you start to get to hear the sound of the chord a little bit more rhythmical. For those of you starting out with strumming, it's really important that you use a metronome or use some sort of timekeeping tool. Metronome's a really good investment, especially for you beginners out there, because it helps you keep time. And that's really one thing that's really important to develop, is that internal metronome within yourself. After a while, with using a metronome, you'll start to develop your own internal metronome, so you'll be able to strum in time, and you'll be able to pick the tempo of the song quite easily without necessarily having to listen to it or set it in your metronome. So that's good, guys. Thanks for joining us for the strumming lesson, and we'll talk to you soon in the next video. Okay, bye for now.